We are wrapping up our nutrition talk that we've enjoyed this week, and today Robin Darling from CHI Memorial going to show us how to be sneaky parents. Good to have you back, Robin Darling.
I don't want to say you lie, but let's just disguise our foods.
We've all heard it though, that there are ways you can sneak in foods and your kids won't notice, or you maybe won't even notice.
Exactly.
But that's not always so easy to do.
No, I mean, you can take the options like pureeing carrots and pureeing different vegetables and adding it into a marinara sauce. And people that don't like the texture of tomato, my daughter's one of those, she doesn't like the chunkiness.
Right.
So if I just simply hit it in a blender, puree it down a little bit, they'll eat all kinds of tomato products, they just don't like the texture. So you can throw that in your pureed carrots to add a little sweetness. You've got your other pureed vegetables and you make your marinara that way. All you have to do is use a little tomatoes and just garlic and onion if you don't mind the texture, and your marinara sauce is done.
You promised us yesterday when we had a pasta dish that you showed us how to make, you said you can't eat bread with it until I show you something now today.
Exactly.
On how you can have your bread and your pasta.
Right. For anybody with diabetes or weight concerns or watching their carbs, it's almost impossible to have that piece of garlic bread. But if you change your pasta from even whole wheat to a zucchini or a spaghetti squash, you're okay. This is a little device you can buy anywhere, Walgreens, Bed Bath & Beyond, Walmart. It's called a veggetti. And all you do is simply stick in your pasta or stick in your vegetable and to begin to turn. You can either make salads more creative and do it this way, or you can do just your zucchini in this option. And instead of cooking this so it would get mushy, although they do have suggestions on how long, what I would do is after I heated up the sauce is just toss this in at the end so it remained texture and just kind of heat it up.
And then all the flavors from your sauce are going to soak into the vegetable as well.
Exactly. So then it's a little bit better.
Okay, now you're also a fan of Brussels sprouts. Jed would love you because that's his favorite vegetable.
Most people hate Brussels sprouts because they're used to boiled and slimy. If you simply take the Brussels sprouts, cut the end off, and saute it just 2 to 3 minutes. I wait till dinner's on the table before I ever start this. And you slightly caramelize them, they get a little sweet.
And what again have you sauteed them in?
What I use is just a little bit of butter and a little bit of oil, and that's part of what the USDA is saying. Let's go more toward getting away from the butter.
Right.
But if you have to have a little bit of that butter flavor, add a little butter, add a little oil, and kind of mix the two. And you just caramelize it. Now, I could have topped this with either a Parmesan cheese to give it a salty crunch, or I could do it either throw in walnuts there at the end and kind of toast the walnuts so it kind of gives it the nutty flavor. And the Brussels sprouts here have texture and they do kind of have a nutty flavor to them.
Okay, now let's talk about what's in the magic mason jar. This is pretty cool.
Yes, beets. Most of us grew up with beets being pickled beets and we don't want to get near them. But beets are an amazing food. You can simply bake them off. If you like sweeter foods, you need to cut them, slice them to get as much exposure to the heat, put a little olive oil on them in aluminum foil in the oven, and they will get sweet, they'll caramelize. If you want it to be more like a baked potato, just take the beet itself, cut it off, and just wrap it up like a baked potato and just add a little olive oil if you want to be healthier, a little butter, salt and pepper. It's just a really earthy potato.
Okay.
The other option, if you want to sneak it in, is you can make a smoothie out of it. You know, everybody's doing the green smoothies. Green smoothies are great till you try to get your child to drink something green and slimy. It doesn't work out so well. So by simply adding a small beet to this, it was an uncooked beet. It's starting to defrost a little now, but it's just an uncooked beet thrown in with strawberries, blueberries. There is spinach in here. You could do kale if you wanted to. Just a little juice to get it moisture. It's going to be kind of slushy. It does still have all the fiber, which is what we're wanting you to have. You can freeze it in mason jars, and when my mom picks my kids up from school, she'll grab one, and they can eat it almost like a popsicle.
So you've been talking about serving sizes as well this week. So to get the nutritional benefit of this, if a kid only ate 4 or 5 spoonfuls, would that be?
That's something. That's about a quarter of a cup, so that's something. But once they start eating it, it's also got a banana, so it's a little sweet. And whenever you're making a smoothie, if you throw an apple in, it kind of changes the whole flavor.
You talked too earlier in the week about the importance of eating all the different colors, not just greens or oranges. So what is the nutrient that a beet has? Because you see it on so many nutritional guidelines, and people don't like them.
Right. It gets back to just the phytochemicals. There's chemicals in each of these that help us either boost our immune system. With teas, we have our chocolates, we have flavonoids. Chocolate's not completely off. Some of the other vegetables have flavonoids. What we're just trying to do is just really boost our immune system, get the antioxidants, get the fiber in our diet to get the bad stuff out when we choose to eat as we shouldn't. And one dietitian said 80% of the time do what you're supposed to, and then 20% of the time you can have a little variety.
Well, we thank you so much. It's been an educational week, and it's all usable, easy to do things. So you'll find Robin and the great other nutritionists there at CHI Memorial by calling the Diabetes and Nutrition Center. There's their phone number and their website. You can be off to a very healthy spring. We're back after this.
Thank you.